there, let it dry for maybe, I don't know, a few days, then come back and paint it. Give yourself a nice
Until the next wayward curveball takes out the next paint.
Right, and hope your accuracy does improve, by the way.
It never did, which is why I'm not playing baseball. Thanks, Ron. Coming up, you know, the digital battlefield of the future is fascinating, and the plane that is its linchpin is the E-8. We're going to take a look at that, and then, can you canoe? You can if you come back. Please do.
This program is brought to you in part by Odor Eater's Foot Powder. Stops odor with baking soda.
Phew! That smells worse than I do.
It's my sweaty, smelly feet. What can I do?
You need Odor Eater's Foot Powder. Now it has powerful Arm & Hammer baking soda. So Odor Eater's powder neutralizes sweaty foot acid that causes embarrassing odor. These Dr. Scholl's can't. Plus, Odor Eater's powder can dry up 25 times more wetness than talc.
No more wet, smelly feet.
Wow! Maybe I should use it.
Odor Eater's Foot Powder. Now with Arm & Hammer baking soda.
After years of building cages, we're about to let the animal out. Introducing the 850R from Volvo.
Every time you make a long-distance call, AT&T sends out a signal to check the quality of the line, automatically routing around trouble before you've even finished dialing. Because at AT&T, we don't just say your calls get through. We guarantee it.
Linda, I'd like to bounce an idea off you.
AT&T, for the life of your business.
To find out what's on the Discovery Channel and the Learning Channel, all you need is one guide. Discovery Channel Monthly. It's packed with programming highlights and comprehensive descriptions of programs on both the Discovery Channel and the Learning Channel. Plus easy-to-use grids that help you plan your viewing at a glance. Call 1-800-357-8800 now for a full-year subscription to Discovery Channel Monthly at the special charter rate of $9.97. 2 great channels, 1 great guide. Call now.
It's new, it's exciting, it's fun, it's great food, it's Fun-tastic Land. Looking for something different and fun to do this weekend or after school? Fun-tastic Land is the place to go. Visit the arcade or just explore. Enjoy a wide variety of food specialties while watching our huge multi-vision screens. There's no better place to have your next party than Fun-tastic Land. We have over 15,000 square feet of fun. Fun-tastic Land is easy to find. We're located at 1661 Hacienda Boulevard in La Fuente. We'll see you soon.
You know, a lot of men don't believe that you can still get a great suit for under $200. Although the Men's Warehouse is not a store where you can get a cheap suit cheap, we are very excited about our $200 suit. We offer for $199 a 100% wool suit, and we believe it's the best value in clothing you can get today. I guarantee it.
29 LA area stores. Call 1-800-776-SUIT.
This program is brought to you in part by the bold look of Kohler.
He braces for the jet spray wake-up call. Digital clocks are too polite. Prodded into existence by 120 jet streams, he discovers answers to the problems that stared back at him from the ceiling just 4 dark hours ago. Problems shrink when wet, except for his stomach, he notes, which will someday make a nice flotation device if he doesn't lay off the guacamole.
Actually, Abercrombie & Kent isn't in the business of travel at all. We're really in the business of satisfying people's dreams. You go to university, you grow as a person. I believe travel is every bit as important as university. I think the American Express card gives one the confidence and the security to go to the farthest corners of the globe. Everybody knows the card, so it's just part of the culture.
The new Kawasaki Vulcan 1500 Classic. With the biggest V-twin ever to hit the asphalt, you've never felt anything like it.
Tired of gambling with your house payment every month? Then maybe now's the time to dump that adjustable mortgage and lock in a low 30-year fixed-rate loan from Ditech Funding. Just call 1-800-71-FIXED. If you have excellent credit, a fixed-rate loan means your mortgage payment will never go up, and there are no high points to pay because there's no sales commission. Call Ditech Funding now at 1-800-71-FIXED and lock in 7.875% with 0 points today.
On the Discovery Channel.
Roger, we understand.
Next. Weekday Wings. Next. Weekday Wings, 7 Mountain, 6 Pacific, on the Discovery Channel.
Tonight on Wild Discovery. Wild. Get vicious and run with the pack. The less domestic side of man's best friend. In the heart of Africa continues on Wild Discovery. Tonight at 9 Mountain, 8 Pacific on the Discovery Channel.
On the Discovery Channel.
Roger, we understand.
Next. Weekday Wings. Next. Weekday Wings, 7 Mountain, 6 Pacific, on the Discovery Channel.
I will build a motor car for the great multitude, constructed of the best materials by the best men and women to be hired. Any person making a good salary will be able to own one and enjoy, with his family, the blessings of hours of pleasure in God's great open spaces.
Phew! That smells worse than I do.
It's my sweaty, smelly feet. What can I do?
You need Odor Eater's foot powder. Now it has powerful Arm & Hammer baking soda. So Odor Eater's powder neutralizes sweaty foot acid that causes embarrassing odor. These Dr. Scholl's can't. Plus, Odor Eater's powder can dry up 25 times more wetness than talc.
No more wet, smelly feet.
Wow! Maybe I should use it.
Odor Eater's foot powder. Now with Arm & Hammer baking soda.
Simple, practical, beautiful. The contour concept found only on Frigidaire gallery ranges. Innovative features like a convection oven. Easy to clean surfaces, plus our exclusive warming drawer to keep food warm. Practical, beautiful, Frigidaire. Call Frigidaire and discover the look of better performance.
New technology takes you right into the heart of a roaring, blazing fire. On Trek, Monday at 10 Mountain, 9 Pacific, only on the Discovery Channel.
Coming up next, the car doctor, Paul Zangari, checks out your car's fluids and filters. It won't hurt. Come right back.
Did you want regular or decaf? Hello? Regular? Or decaf? Regular?
Well, at least you know how to keep it from spilling. The powerful Accord V6 from Honda. Possibly the world's easiest decision.
Want to make painting easier? Change your roller to a Wagner cordless power roller. There's less mess, less hassle, and less bending over because you control the flow of paint. So you can just keep on rolling. In fact, with the power roller and its accessories, you'll get professional results nearly twice as fast. It even turns cleanup into an easy job. So get a cordless power roller from Wagner and transform every room in your house.
A sparkling ship on crystal waters is coming.
Absolutely gorgeous. It was so much fun.
The perfect lobster is coming.
Our waiters, they would do anything for us, any time.
Perfection is coming.
A gift from the captain.
Memories are coming.
7 days in Royal Caribbean's Caribbean are coming. You've got some Royal Caribbean coming.
Hey, where's the kids?
Just you and me tonight.
And chicken marsala.
Your favorite.
Oh, but it gave me heartburn last time.
Not tonight.
But it's too late for Pepcid AC. The package says you've got to take it an hour before eating to prevent heartburn.
I know.
Why should I have to wait an hour to eat?
Forget that hour stuff. I got you Tangabit HB. Says it prevents heartburn in half the time.
So I can take it now and not get heartburn?
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Tagamet HB, advanced prevention of heartburn in half the time.
People all over the world are making the connection to the most exciting new adventure on the internet today. Introducing Discovery Channel Online. Explore fascinating new worlds, travel deep into the past, take a glimpse into the future. Original interactive entertainment produced exclusively for this new medium, an experience you'll keep coming back to. The world's getting connected. Isn't it time you connected to the hottest new destination on the internet today? Discovery Channel Online at www.discovery.com.
It's new, it's exciting, it's fun, it's great food, it's Funtastic Land. Looking for something different and fun to do this weekend or after school? Funtastic Land is the place to go. Visit the arcade or just explore. Enjoy a wide variety of food specialties while watching our huge multi-vision screens. There's no better place to have your next party than Funtastic Land. We have over 15,000 square feet of fun. Funtastic Land is easy to find. We're located at 1661 Hacienda Boulevard in La Fuente. We'll see you soon.
5 miles above the earth, terrorists plot to bring our government to its knees.
You can forget Washington. There's enough nerve agent here to wipe out half the eastern seaboard.
Now, their job is to save 400 passengers in the air and 40 million people on the ground. In a mid-air war, locked in a race against time, Kurt Russell and Steven Seagal.
We're not gonna make it! You are!
Executive Decision, rated R. Now playing at a theater near you.
Phew, that foot odor. I can't take it anymore.
But can anything stop it?
This will. Odor Eaters Insoles. Now, its powerful charcoal formula contains genuine Arm & Hammer baking soda. Look, foot odor is caused by sweaty acid, and now Odor Eaters actually neutralizes odor-causing acid. These Dr. Scholl's can't.
Finally, no more foot odor.
And I thought it was hopeless.
Only Odor Eaters Insoles. Stop foot odor with Arm & Hammer baking soda.
Tired of gambling with your house payment every month? Then maybe now's the time to dump that adjustable mortgage and lock in a low 30-year fixed-rate loan from Ditech Funding. Just call 1-800-71-FIXED. If you have excellent credit, a fixed-rate loan means your mortgage payment will never go up, and there are no high points to pay because there's no sales commission. Call Ditech Funding now at 1-800-71-FIXED and lock in 7.875% with 0 points today.
Tonight on Wild Discovery. Get vicious and run with the pack. The less domestic side of man's best friend in the heart of Africa continues on Wild Discovery. Tonight at 9 Mountain, 8 Pacific on the Discovery Channel.
And cute. On the Discovery Channel, weekdays. Weekday wings, up close, inside. Find yourself here on the Discovery Channel. 1 hour every day, 5 days a week. Weekday wings, next. 7 Mountain, 6 Pacific. On the Discovery Channel.
Computer Chronicles is made possible in part by Hewlett-Packard Personal Computers, developing PCs for business. Additional funding provided by the Software Publishers Association, presenters of the CODES, the Annual Excellence in Software Awards.
Hi, and welcome to the Computer Chronicles. I'm Stuart Chaffee. Well, they say computers are actually only fancy calculators. All they can really do is arithmetic. but if you can put complex human problems in mathematical form, computers can do a lot more than just add, subtract, and multiply. Today, we're going to look at software thinking tools, computer programs that help you solve real human problems. Our first example is a new program called GoFigure from Villa Crespo Software. Dick, this is your baby. You developed GoFigure. Kind of what is it? It's sort of a spreadsheet in a way, isn't it?
Well, it's also more of a paint program. You know, we looked at people and said, why can people use paint programs so easy and spreadsheets seem so difficult? This is like a large collection of mathematically smart clip art.
So it's clip art that has smarts in it. All right, we've set up two little pieces of clip art or windows so far, and let's explain what they are. I asked you to solve a housing problem for me. How much can I afford to buy? Income is $55,000. I said, give me 25% of that monthly income to figure out what I can pay for a mortgage, and you calculated that. And I said, I'm looking at a house that's $220,000, and therefore, what would my mortgage be? Now, can we create another piece of clip art to figure out what my monthly payments would be on that mortgage?
Sure can. We're going to go into GoFigure's encyclopedia, ask for the loans section, go into home loans. In this case, we want mortgage payment.
So you've got an encyclopedia of all these formulas already in the program.
Thousands of the most frequently used formulas.
Okay. And this is one for mortgage payment calculation.
This will do a full amortization. So we're going to put it down, and we're going to tell it, first of all, that we're going to be working here in dollars. And now what we're going to do is we're going to ask to connect this amount that we'd like to
sort of like cells in a spreadsheet, you can link these pieces of clip art, right?
Correct, and now they're totally alive. A change anywhere affects everything.
Okay.
What kind of...
Let's say 7.5%. Let's try to be optimistic here.
7.5%? And for how many?
30 years, I guess. Stretch it out as long as we can, huh? All right, so the program's telling me I would have to spend $1,400 a month to buy that house.
Right.
But the rule told me I shouldn't spend more than $1,145.
Correct.
Problem. Now, first of all, one of the neat things about GoFigure is you can sort of red light that, right, and warn me of that difference?
Absolutely. We're going to go grab a helper here, what we call a light object. What we're going to do is we're going to condition it to tell us when we're in or outside of our conditions. We're going to tell it we want to have a good condition when we're between thresholds.
Okay.
We're under our budget. Now, what we're going to do is we'll start by taking our monthly payment. We'll connect it over here to the input of that light.
So again, you're linking cells here, basically.
We'll take what we can budget, and we're going to connect it over here to our upper threshold. You can see the light tells us we're outside.
Right. Okay, so red light, the number is too big. Now, how can I use GoFigure to make those numbers match? By changing some of the variables inside?
Well, you could certainly change any, but you can also work the problem backwards, what we call specifying an answer.
Okay.
Let's say we want an answer here. We want to be conservative and pay no more than $1,000 a month for that house.
Okay.
Now, GoFigure's asking, what do you want to vary? So, for example...
Well, yeah, how much house can I afford then? What's the basic amount? Whoa! So the most I can afford is $161.
$161.
Suppose I can make a bigger down payment. What would it have to be?
Well, let's ask.
$79,000.
Yeah.
Suppose I could get a better interest rate. Could I afford that
Let's find the interest rate.
I'd have to get forget it, huh?
Forget it.
All right, GoFigure told me go find another house.
Right.
Thanks a lot, Dick.
My pleasure.
Well, GoFigure is one unique way of representing information. Another way is to visually represent data so that you can better see significant relationships. That's the approach of our next program. It's called WinMap from Progis. All right, now let me ask you, we were just looking at, I guess, a kind of spreadsheet model, really, with GoFigure. This is really a database only allowing us to visually represent the information, is that right?
That's right. What we provide, Stuart, is a spatial engine for developers to build geo-multimedia applications. In other words, linking maps, databases, and multimedia into one application.
So basically, I'm looking at a database, but you're giving me the ability to graphically query, basically, on criteria other than some number equals something or some letter equals something, right?
That's right. It's a visual representation.
Okay, so let's continue with the housing example here. And before I was working on buying a house, we are looking at, what, Whatcom County in the state of Washington right now?
That's right.
Let's say I'm looking for a house here because I heard Bill Gates moved here and I want to be close to him. He's a little bit near here. I want a house that has a water view because Gates has a water view, right? And I travel a lot, so I want it to be within a couple of miles of the airport. How do I represent that query graphically to WinMap?
Okay, so what I would do is I would take my mouse and point to the map area I'm interested in. So I'd zoom in.
So we pick the area with the bay view.
That's right.
And now I want to get near the airport.
There's the airport, and I can go closer if I want to. There's the airport, and what I would do now is get a search tool that I can find things by radius, and I will hold it down and basically just draw a circle where I want this to be.
And by drawing the circle, I am querying the database and saying, show me all houses for sale within that geographical area?
That's correct, and it will show you it found 2 houses here.
All right, now how do I get the information?
So I go and say to the system, give me more information on what I've just found. Queries the database.
So that's one of the houses available?
Yeah, and there's the other one.
Okay.
So let's say this is the one I'm interested in. I can now look at more information, like a picture of the house.
So I started with a visual query, but that automatically links me not only to the data, but to graphics, to videos also, I take it?
That's right, videos as well. So let's say I want a walkthrough of the house, for example. I can go and run my video, and the video starts up. And I'm running a video.
All right, suppose I wanted to do this another way, and again, graphically look. Somebody told me that the area of Bellingham is very nice, and there's some parks in there and so on, and my office is going to be in that area. I want to find a house that's within walking distance of where I work. How would I use this then?
Okay. First of all, what I would do is I'd go to the Bellingham area, and by clicking onto this.
So we basically go to we focus the map on the Bellingham area, we center it, is that
That's right. First of all, I select all the houses I want. Then I focus on the Bellingham area. And this then focuses, this is the Bellingham area. And I can then go closer to the Bellingham area.
Okay, now can I zoom in and say, here's where the office is, and let's say that red house is the office.
This is the office.
And then again, draw just a circle or a polygon around that.
That's correct. And I'm going to go in within that radius from the office.
And can you zoom in even more so I can see details of the neighborhood on the map?
Okay, I can go in closer. And there's no limit to how far I can go in. I can go right into the house as well and look at the street names, for example.
And I could see, actually, well, it's near the park. I could walk to the park. And again, what WinMap does is allows me to deal with a lot of information in a database, but in a visual, practical way, as opposed to some sort of artificial query way.
That's right. You can see what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's why we coined the phrase software that shows.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. All right, one of the problems in getting computers to understand the problems we need to solve is communicating our ideas to the computer. Well, at Stanford University, they are working on a revolutionary human-computer interface that allows the computer to communicate directly with the human brain.
That we can, say, place on
Researchers at Stanford University in Palo Alto, California, are probing the outer limits of the mind-computer interface. The Center for the Study of Language and Information, or CSLI, is host to a range of experimental studies which share a common name, the Archimedes Project. The goal is to use technology as leverage to give people with varied disabilities universal access to computers.
From an engineering point of view, I could see answers to a lot of the problems that we've been working on to provide access for people with disabilities. And the big problems lying ahead was how to actually make the connection to the brain. You know, that's connecting to the grey matter is probably bigger than a lot of the physical, actual engineering problems which we can solve easily.
One of the projects underway uses a head-mounted tracker as a kind of virtual mouse. J.B. Galan, another Stanford researcher, is so adept with the tracker that he often outpaces his mouse-bound colleagues at the same tasks. For persons unable to move even their heads, CSLI's eye tracker experiment uses a camera and an infrared beam to follow and interpret eye movement. A steady gaze in one target area is the same as clicking on a letter or icon with a mouse. The next interface challenge will be to interpret brain waves, a task that is not yet well understood.
You get a large amount of information, and trying to figure out any one thing that means something specific is very difficult. And one of our researchers is actually looking at that now to see if we use a neural net and let it learn what the electrical signals are doing when you think yes or no or left or right, then that is going to allow us to make it practical much more quickly than, you know, specifically trying to understand, you know, what signal changes when you think yes, and is there another signal that we can get when you say no?
For the Computer Chronicles, I'm Giles Bateman.
One of the terms used to describe the kind of software we're looking at today is computer-assisted thinking tools, or CAT software. Our next program is in this category, and it's called Project Kickstart. And Roy, this is your baby. You developed this program. How do I use Kickstart to help me think through a complex task? Like, I think the one we're going to talk about is, I decided my company should have its own website. I kind of don't know where to begin. How would I do it using Kickstart?
Great. Well, what you do is you open the program, and you'll see it asks you a series of questions. These questions are keyed to the step of the process that you see at the left.
So it will hold my hand through the thinking I have to do, essentially?
Absolutely. And you typed in, you want to develop a home page.
Right.
Then you go to the next step, and it will ask you, what are the major steps, or what are the major activities in building a home page?
And how do I know the answer to that question?
Well, often you'll know it from the problem, but if you have any problem, we have a library of phase names.
Okay,
and you
so it can prompt me to different phases I should be thinking about.
Absolutely. These are put in by a project management consultant, so it's like having that consultant on board.
Okay. Now, what's that advisor button? Is that like a consultant who helps me think about these
Absolutely. It's an advisor on tips for how to answer the questions. And again, expertise of a project management advisor.
So I determine the phases, and now when I move down to goals next?
Then you'll go down to goals. You'll figure out what the goals are, what tasks would accomplish the goals, and then where they fit in the project.
So let's stop for a second. So the goals here are increase sales, reduce customer support workload, improve customer interaction, improve corporate image, increase investor interest. I figured that. Now, how do I relate tasks to those goals?
Well, it'll ask you one by one what tasks would accomplish them. Like, how do you increase sales? Provide information that's valuable. Have something that can be sold on the net.
Okay, so it forces me to get specific. This is a goal, cool, but what are you going to do to accomplish that goal?
Exactly.
Okay.
And then they will move into your project.
All right, so what is similar?
Similar is similar projects. Now, we have some templates that come with the program, and you can see, for example, what can you learn from setting up a newsletter, and maybe you have to design a logo, and that will go in your marketing phase. That's done already.
So I can learn from my experience if I set up a similar project before,
Right.
kind of steal from that.
And the program grows with you.
Okay, so next I deal with the people that have to get involved in this?
Yes, you identify people who are involved, and then the program asks you what tasks each person would do or suggest. What will the president do? What will the sales manager do, etc. And they flow into the program. The obstacle section is something a lot of the users like. It says, what are the obstacles to this project? And again, there's an obstacles library which lists 80 different obstacles that might be relevant, and you can drag and drop onto your list.
So I can scan your suggested obstacles and say relevant to my case, not relevant to my case, etc.
Yes, and add them so it grows with you.
Okay. And then assign is to relate the people to the tasks, isn't it?
Exactly. It's where you assign people to tasks. And then you have the task list itself, which shows all of the tasks in a 4-level outline, all the assignments, and you can add any notes. So this lets you notate what you're doing.
So this really is computer-assisted thinking, as I talked about earlier. It's helping me think through a complex problem, organize it, outline it, relate people to tasks, etc.
Exactly.
And then you could dump this into Microsoft Project, right, and actually go ahead and manage the project.
Yeah, and we have a link, and you just click on the icon, and all your data flows right into Microsoft Project.
All right, Roy, thank you very much. Okay, well, what we would really like a computer to do is make the tough decisions for us. If you could only accurately put a value on all the variables in a decision table, then a computer could make a decision. That is the approach of another new program we're going to look at called Decide Right.
At the IntelliMatch Corporation in San Jose, California, people are meeting and consulting all the time, whether it's informally in the hallway or at a desk, or organized around a conference table. As in all enterprises, making good decisions is the basis for good business. IntelliMatch recently got some assistance in that task in a software package called Decide Right from Avantos. Decide Right organizes and displays the various elements of a decision and ranks them according to group consensus. It's a way to break down the complexity of the decision process and to keep the group on track.
We are able to go into much more detail using Decide Right than we would normally, just trying to make decisions in a group setting. And that is because we can now track the different criteria, and we can really see how the different options are weighted in each of the different criteria groupings.
IntelliMatch is an internet-based recruitment service that matches employees with employers. The company's marketing department began using Decide Right to help them choose the best advertising venues. The key to Decide Right is a graphical drag-and-drop interface that groups items in categories by weighted importance. The program acts as a kind of coordinator, organizing the input for team members who can review the steps leading to their final consensus. It's a way to take some of the subjectivity out of the process.
I don't think it can be removed, but yet I still think it's somewhat important. It's good to be able to take advantage of people's instincts and their feel for a situation. And what Decide Right does is, because you can go change the rankings of different options on the fly, you can meet in a group type of setting and have people be interactive and discuss these ideas and reach agreement.
For the Computer Chronicles, I'm Giles Bateman.
Finally, let's take a close look at another new program which helps you make good decisions. This one is called Which and Why. All right, Mark, let me go back to my housing analogy I used earlier in the program. I used software, first of all, to figure out how much house I can afford. Then I used another program to tell me where I should actually buy the house. Let's say I've narrowed it down to a couple of houses now, and I have to make a decision which to make an offer on. How would I use Which and Why to make that decision?
Well, before you can narrow it down to the homes you want to buy, you need to define what your ideal home is. So what Which and Why does is it helps you take those thoughts and ideas of your ideal home and prioritize those and come out with the ideal recommendation.
So what do I really want is what I'm asking for.
Exactly. You don't even know what you want, and so let's show you.
So how do we do that?
So what you've done is you enter information from your head, what's important in a home to you.
Okay.
Now you take all that information and you compare the relative importance of that. So in this case, we'll look at an area of the house, the main area of the house that has 7 rooms. And we're going to determine how important those rooms are to each other in your own mind when you define your house.
All right, so I'm saying, as I guess a lot of people would, that the kitchen is where we spend a lot of time. It's really important to have a home in which we like the kitchen.
And in this example, the kitchen happens to be rated the highest of 43.9% compared to the other rooms in the house.
All right, and that happens because what, I move those sliders
for each of those areas? Yeah, what you do is you click and drag the sliders. Now watch, if I change this around, you can see the pie chart changes.
Okay, so I'm saying, well, the kitchen isn't quite as important.
Yeah, what I've just done is I said the den is a lot more important than the kitchen.
Yeah.
So I'll move it back over here.
So the first job, again, is to define what is the ideal house I'm really looking for and weight these various factors and the pieces of the house and so on.
Exactly. And
all right, so now suppose I've already done that. Now how do I get to my problem of figuring out which house to buy?
Okay, you end up with what we call a benchmark. And this is a benchmark of your ideal home. If you were able to graphically depict what your home would look like, this is what it looks like.
So you've taken all those measurements, all those weightings, and turned them into this sort of profile or graph of my ideal house.
Exactly. And you can see the high points are the most important factors. If I point and click there, it shows that the kitchen is most important, and it shows the weight of the kitchen relative to the whole house.
Now, how do I compare my ideal to the houses I'm looking at?
Okay, the next thing that you would do is you would score the houses that you're looking at.
So I go to house A.
Go to house A.
And you help me print out this little list over here, and I say that was real good, that was not so good.
Yeah, you
enter the data in the computer. And
you grade it on a scale of 0 to 10, and you end up comparing those homes to your benchmark. See how well they scored. So in this case, we've looked at 4 homes. Let's see how house C scored. And you can see from the graph that house C didn't do so great, because if you zoom in, you can see that it didn't even do well in my kitchen.
Big gap between ideal and that house.
Exactly. So let's look at another one that comes closer, and that's house A, or house B we'll use in this case. Now you can see that there's a very tight match with house B. The graphs are very, very much alike, and this happens to be the house that Which and Why recommends.
So I could eyeball that graph and figure it out on my own, or the software says, hey, this is the best match based on what you're looking for.
Yeah, and it gives you an analysis over here. It says it takes a weighted average and combines what we call a matching index, or the degree to which your option scores to your ideal benchmark, and comes out with a total Which and Why score or an adjusted weighted average score. And that's what Which and Why recommends.
Okay, so all I have to do is enter all the data, and it'll do the comparisons and calculations and say, this is really the one you like.
Exactly.
All right,
and
thanks very much.
Okay.
All right, well, 2 software technologies that are often used in this area of computer-assisted thinking tools are artificial intelligence and neural networks. We asked our webmaster, Giles Bateman, to recommend some websites that would help us further explore this whole fascinating area of computer thinking.
Thanks, Stuart. There are a lot of great artificial intelligence resources on the internet. Let's start with Alaya Incorporated. These guys are software developers. Now, this is highly specialized software, so you'll really only be interested if you are part of an organization or institution that needs to do strategic thinking. But here we've got a list of their different components of their software. Here's Alaya Attract, and down here is Alaya Predict. What's interesting about this is these pieces of software use artificial intelligence to help an organization determine what characteristics make a market attractive and their relative importance, and a lot of other bulleted points here. Now, next of all, if you're really interested in artificial intelligence for its own sake, you'll want to check out this page, Artificial Intelligence Resources on the Internet. Now, this has a collection of all sorts of great links to other artificial intelligence resources, everything from books, companies and conferences down to journals and news groups. The list goes on. Now, last but not least, let's have a look at neural networks. This is a particularly fascinating area of artificial intelligence that actually uses the computer to simulate the interaction of neurons, the way our own brains work. Here's a light introduction to neural networks, give you an idea how neurons interact. If you really don't care how neural networks work, but are more interested in what they can do for you, click on the Manager's Guide to Neural Networks. This will give you a very nice description of the practical application for neural networks.
Thanks, Giles. Time now for our weekly summary of the latest in the field of personal computing. Here's this week's computer news on Random Access.
In the Random Access file this week, Oracle says its $500 system designed specifically for accessing the Internet is expected to go on sale in September. Called the Network Computer, or NC, it will be available in several configurations, including ones that use your existing television as a monitor, as well as ones that are similar to current laptop and desktop computers. AT&T announced plans to offer access to the Internet nationwide. WorldNet service will be offered either on an hourly or unlimited access basis. AT&T will offer existing long-distance customers a bonus. They'll get the service free for the first year if they use the network for 5 hours a month or less. Motorola is combining its cable modem technology with Sun Microsystems' Java programming language to bring high-speed Internet service to the home. Sun says this deal will give cable operators a boost toward delivering consumer-based broadband services. Apple Computer may begin turning away new subscribers to its troubled online service as early as this week. The San Jose Mercury News reports that the eWorld online system is tentatively set to shut down by April 1st. Apple is said to be pursuing agreements with other online services to turn over its 147,000 accounts. Will Compaq start a high-end PC price war? The Wall Street Journal says Compaq will cut prices by as much as 20% to build greater market share. Though good news to the corporate buyer, such a price war could knock smaller players such as Dell and AST out of the market. An $11 million federal suit has been brought against CompUSA by a St. Louis couple shocked to find child pornography on what they thought was their new laptop. The Associated Press says the suit seeks $10 million from the retailer for alleged consumer fraud over its practice of selling returned computers as new. The couple seeks another $1 million for emotional distress. And finally, another company may have gone too far to protect against obscenity. SurfWatch, a screening program designed to prevent children from seeing indecent text and pictures on the net, recently blocked access to the White House Worldwide website because it contained a dirty word, couples. In this case, the word referred to Bill and Hillary Clinton. Surf has fixed the problem. That's it for this week's computer news. Back to you, Stuart.
Now for my pick of the week. When you use a computer for communicating, you want it to represent you, to be a personal form of expressing your ideas. Well, most people consider a computer-generated letter, for example, very impersonal. Well, I have found a software solution for that. You may have seen ads for this in some of the airline magazines. It's called Personal Font. And what this program does is turn your own handwriting into a selectable font style in your word processor. You fill in a sample writing sheet like this, and you fill in the blanks with examples of your handwriting. You send it into the company, and what they then do is send you a little floppy disk with your own personal font on it. In this case, it's mine, called Stuart. And here's an example of using my handwriting. And you can see I'm writing in Microsoft Word here, but instead of using one of their fonts, I'm using my own handwriting. And it's just a regular font. You can go in here and underline, go in here and change the font size, do all the normal things you would do with a font. And when you're all done, you've got a neat-looking letter that looks like you wrote it with a pen. All right, it is very cool. It lets you easily personalize any kind of correspondence. The company that makes personal font is called Signature Software, and they're based in Hood River, Oregon. That's it for this week's Computer Chronicles. We'll be back here again next week with more on the latest in personal computers. I'm Stuart Chaffee. We'll see you here next time.
Computer Chronicles is made possible in part by Hewlett-Packard Personal Computers, developing PCs for business. Additional funding provided by the Software Publishers Association, presenters of the KOCE, the annual Excellence in Software Awards. Videotape copies of all Computer Chronicle shows are available for $32.50. Please order by show number and topic. And for more detailed information about the series, guests, and products featured, you can also order a subscription to the Chaffee Letter. In each issue, Stuart provides his unique insights and thoughts about the fast-changing world of personal technology. Videotapes and the Chaffee Letter can be ordered by calling 1-800-800-9520 or by writing us at the Computer Chronicles.
This is KOCE Huntington Beach, serving Orange County and surrounding communities. Wherever you want to go, whatever you want to see, you'll find it on KOCE. So explore, reflect, enjoy. We don't just bring you the world, we make a world of difference. If KOCE doesn't do it, who will?
Hi, I'm Henry Questa. I'm Myron Florence.
And I'm Barney Liddell. Among the three of us, we have over 100 years in the band business. It has been our life's work, and it has been our pleasure. On the Lawrence Welk Show, we used to recreate the sound of the big bands in specials from time to time, and we always had a wonderful time doing it.
Please join us for a champagne toast to the big band.
Saturday evening at 8.
Meet the king of polka. When you think of polka music, you think of Frankie Yankovic.
He's the father of polka music. That's it. Just because you think you're so pretty.
And for the first time, relive his extraordinary story.
Just because you think you've got something.
Oh, and dance along if you like. Frank Yankovic, America's Polka King.
10 Saturday night on KOCE. Funding for the Nightly Business Report on KOCE is made possible by a grant from the Macbeth Foundation, proud to support programming on KOCE. Cruttenden Roth, a regional investment banking and brokerage firm dedicated to supporting emerging growth companies. Cruttenden Roth, financing for a better future. And KOCE members like you.
A very modest gain in the consumer price index signals that inflation is under control, and the economic news doesn't stop there.
Once, its affordability is more clear-cut than ever. In fact, it's an offer so solid, it's carved in stone. Get 3.9% APR financing for 48 months on any Accord.
Don't let interest payments keep you out of the game. Through Saturday, get no payments and no interest for 1 year on audio and video at Best Buy.
Does your old computer have enough power to run today's software?
Through Saturday, get no payments and no interest for 1 year on all Packard Bell and compact computers with monitors at Best Buy.
This is CNN.
Hello, I'm Martin Savage. Science and Technology Week is coming up, but first, our top stories. Taiwan residents are openly defying China's efforts at intimidation days before their first direct presidential election. Thousands filled the capital streets of Taipei today, chanting Taiwan independence, waving banners. Voters go to the polls a week from today, and the current president is expected to win another term. China now plans to extend current military exercises to last through Taiwan's elections. A Chinese government spokesman today dismissed as baseless a Pentagon report that Beijing gave the U.S. assurances it had no plans to invade Taiwan. Just back from an anti-terrorism summit in Egypt, President Clinton today accused Republicans of bowing to gun lobby pressure and gutting his anti-terrorism bill in the House. He made his comments in his weekly radio address.
I have made our fight against terrorism a national security priority. And in order to defeat these forces of destruction, we need every tool at our disposal. The same day I was in the Middle East rallying the world community to fight terrorism, some in Congress, led by Republicans, were taking apart, piece by piece, the tough legislation designed to beat back that very threat.
The president submitted the measure after last year's fatal bombing in Oklahoma City. Some Republican lawmakers expressed concern it gave too much power to the government. While preaching party unity, Senator Robert Dole hopes to wrap up the Republican presidential nomination Tuesday. Ohio auto workers saw Senator Dole, campaigning for Tuesday's Midwest primaries, try to turn a battle against President Clinton, not Pat Buchanan. But campaigning with auto workers in Michigan, Buchanan refused to surrender, admitting he hasn't ruled out the possibility of a third-party candidacy. Buchanan vows to fight all the way to the GOP convention in August. CNN's live coverage of the Midwest primaries begins Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Iron Mike Tyson steps into a Las Vegas ring tonight in his bid to regain the world heavyweight title. On CNN's Larry King Live last night, he was asked about another kind of ring.
Are you going to get married?
Yes, definitely.
When?
Definitely. Very soon. Very soon.
Because she's a terrific lady, this lady.
Yes, she is.
And
yes,
don't,
she is.
you know, you don't want to lose something like this.
Well, I don't want to lose anything like that. And when I go to the mosque, you know, my imam look at me like I'm crazy, you know, having a child and I'm not married. And I got to get on top of that real quick.
Tyson's girlfriend recently gave birth to a daughter. Well, there's a comet headed our way. No reason to panic, but to get out the binoculars. That story's next on Science and Technology Week.
Up next on Science and Technology Week, a comet tail. It's not a household name, but a comet named Hyakutake may put Halley's to shame. What the state is doing to make sure its teachers and students are computer literate. And a little later, we'll see how new high-resolution screens could change everything from computing to X-rays. Stay with us.
IBM เฮ้ยเราต้องซื้อฮาร์ดแวร์เพิ่มสิไม่ใช่ IBM เขามีบริการปรึกษาการจัดระบบเขาจะมาอยู่กับคุณจนงานเรียบร้อยเลยหุ้นผมขึ้นเลยครับขายเลยครับ
Sunday on CNN Presents.
I took advantage of people, I victimized people. I really just need to find out why I do that.
Why do some people become cold-blooded criminals? It's the age-old question of heredity versus environment. Now, these scientists are looking for clues inside the mind. Can probing the brain with modern technology reveal that some of us are indeed born bad? On the next CNN Presents, Sunday, 9 Eastern.
News travels fast. This just into headline news. What happens there can be seen here, now. That's why people everywhere turn to headline news. for continuously updated news, business, sports, and entertainment. Staying in touch with the world has never been easier because it doesn't matter what hour of the day it is. The time for headline news is always now. Headline News, a CNN network.
Here's 5 great reasons to check out Larry next week. Prosecuting attorney Christopher Darden gives his first live interview since O.J. Simpson's acquittal. Hollywood's sexiest couple, Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell, take your calls. Then, meet the man behind the headlines, America's most popular anchor, Peter Jennings. And former presidential candidate Ross Perot offers his unique insight on politics and the candidates. All next week on Larry King Live, 9 Eastern on CNN.
Tomorrow Today appears on CNN's Future Watch and Science and Technology Week. Brought to you by IBM. Solutions for a small planet.
Mi amor, parece diferente esta noche.
Que no terminé de tipear el informe mensual de marketing. Es un plomo y me están presionando.
No te lo puedo creer. ¿Todavía no has oído hablar del nuevo software de reconocimiento de voz de IBM? Vos simplemente le hablas y te lo escribe automáticamente.
Estoy anonadada.
Now access the latest business and financial news direct from CNN FM on the AT&T Business Network, the new online service designed just for business. AT&T organizes all the business resources of the World Wide Web and gives you the tools you need to gain and sustain a competitive advantage in business every day. And stay informed of breaking business news and up-to-the-minute coverage of financial markets with CNN FM. For a free 10-hour trial, call 1-800-660-BNET.
At the center of our justice system is balance. So we matched a hard-hitting former prosecutor with a tough-as-nails defense attorney. Together, they take a provocative look at today's most compelling cases and put the law on trial. Greta Van Susteren and Roger Kosick. The issues, the courts, and your rights. Burden of Proof. Weekdays, 12:30 Eastern on CNN.
It is the source of live breaking news for the entire world. Available to over 500 million people on 6 continents. It's 5 networks, backed by 3,000 professionals in 30 bureaus worldwide. It's correspondents, some of the best reporters in the business. From its site on the internet to over 600 global affiliates, it is television's largest and most experienced news-gathering organization. This is CNN.
Time for us to take a break. Then I smell a good story waiting in the wings, a pretty one as well. Stay with us for a look at some floral rarities. And if you have access to the World Wide Web, drop in on our homepage. It's at CNN.com. Click on the technology button to get into our area. And if you'd like to email us, the address is sci-tech@cnn.com. We can't answer every e-request, but we'd like to hear what you have to say.
Sai, ho finito la mia tesi di laurea.
Bravo, nonno.
Ho fatto tutte le mie ricerche, già dalle Indiana University. Sì. La biblioteca della facoltà. L'IBM l'ha digitalizzata. Così con internet avrò accesso alla musica quando vuoi. Sì, sono proprio bei tempi questi.
Here's 5 great reasons to check out Larry next week. Prosecuting attorney Christopher Darden gives his first live interview since O.J. Simpson's acquittal. Hollywood's sexiest couple, Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell, take your calls. Then, meet the man behind the headlines, America's most popular anchor, Peter Jennings. And former presidential candidate Ross Perot offers his unique insight on politics and the candidates. All next week on Larry King Live, 9 Eastern on CNN.
1980, CNN revolutionized the way the world watches the news.
I dedicate the news channel for America, the cable news network.
Now, it'll do the same for business. CNN FM brings together television's most experienced team of financial reporters backed by the worldwide resources of CNN. Ask your cable or satellite company about CNN FM. Now, open for business.
Censors itself. The controversial V-chip is already being tested in some Canadian homes. We'll find out what's going on the next edition of Science and Technology Week. We'll see you then.
Closed captioning was provided by Bell Atlantic, the heart of communication.
Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Lorenz at CNN Center in Atlanta. Coming up on College Basketball Preview, the latest from the NCAA tournament. We're going to think ahead to who might be the survivors in each region and who might get shocked as early as today. Plus, Princeton lives on as one of the great stories after upsetting UCLA. We're going to have a profile of head coach Pete Carrill, whose retirement party is just going to have to wait. Join Dick Weiss, Mike Glenn, and me next for College Basketball Preview.
This week on CNN Sunday Morning, it's a 90s version of David and Goliath. At issue, Taiwan versus China. Sunday, 7 a.m. Eastern on CNN.
Attention gardeners, come on out to Lawn Depot on Hacienda Boulevard at Valley in the City of Industry. Lawn Depot, 20,000 square feet of garden equipment from Makita, Toro, John Deere, and more, all at wholesale prices. This MTD Power Edger, only $179. This 40-pound bag of Ironite Weed and Feed, only $11.99. This 50-foot Flexon year-round garden hose, only $5.99. Plus, Lawn Depot has professional mechanics who can fix your lawnmower right on the premises. Lawn Depot, open to the public at wholesale prices on Hacienda Boulevard at Valley in the City of Industry.
Some people think you have to suffer the freeways to get a good car deal. Some people think you need to search for some distant auto mall. And some people are just plain wrong. Community Honda, right here in your own backyard in Whittier, offers you friendly service, the same selection, and such low overhead you could save yourself hundreds of dollars. And what's more, Community Honda is here for you after your purchase with an award-winning service department. So treat yourself to Community Honda on Whittier Boulevard, 1 mile west of Colima.
Late edition, now at a new time, Sunday, 12 noon Eastern on CNN.
Coming up next on College Basketball Preview, if you want to win in the tournament, you've got to be willing to go to war. But Cinderella teams do come out clean as well.
No initiation fee.
Get it home.
Don't let interest payments keep you out of the game. Through Saturday, get no payments and no interest for 1 year on audio and video at Best Buy.
Does your old computer have enough power to run today's software? Through Saturday, get no payments and no interest for 1 year on all Packard Bell and compact computers with monitors at Best Buy.
This week on Cnet Central, if it points, clicks, or shoots, we'll cover it. If it stings, flies, or crashes and burns, you will see it. Buy it, buy it, buy it. Cnet Central. Coming up next on USA.
It's the clash of the Internet titans, and how the war between Microsoft and Netscape turns out will shape the future of the web.
It's not exactly broadcasting or netcasting. It's called intercasting, and the latest cross between TV and the Internet may be coming sooner than you realize.
And fasten your seatbelts as we try out the latest multimedia from the Star Wars people. Our own CD-ROM Jedi warrior, John C. Dvorak, swings his buy it, try it, skip it sword.
And good golly, Miss Molly, Little Richard rocks cyberspace as he helps launch a hot new online music project.
Plus, your favorite websites turned into brochures like these. You got to see this one to believe it.
And, of course, we have the latest from the digital world coming at you next on CNET Central.
Join us.
CNET Central is brought to you in part by Microsoft. Where do you want to go today? Pipeline, the home internet provider, and Network MCI Business.
Right and right and right. You're too old to own a computer.
Yep.
Right and right every Saturday.
I know.
You should let your students do that. Come to the market with me.
No, I gotta work.
Hi, Ray.
Hi, Ray. Say, Ray, how about coaching me for the exhibition meet next week?
Don't do it, Ray. You just can't trust these women. They'll learn all your techniques and then beat you at your own game, just like Marilyn did. Chimp the chump in 10 easy lessons. Why don't you all shut up?
This is CNET Central.
Hi, I'm Richard Hart.
And I'm Gina St. John. Welcome to CNET Central. Now, we've been watching this evolution, and it's turning into a revolution, talking about the merging of computers and TV, and they're starting to act a lot like each other.
We've got lots of television programs that have sites on the World Wide Web. You now have video programs on the Internet. And now comes something called Intercast, a cross between the two that's going to blur the line between surfing the channels and surfing the net.
From the beginning, television has been a one-way form of communication. Then the computer age opened things up. Mass communication became available to, well, the masses. So where are these two media headed next?
Some people say your TV will become a computer. Others that your computer will become a TV. Whichever way it happens, we're already beginning to see the Internet become a broadcast. In fact, this is an Intercast.
Developed by Intel Corporation, Intercast technology delivers HTML information such as web pages along with the video signal going into your TV, meaning you don't just see late-breaking stories. You get web pages relating to those stories bookmarked for you instantly.
Now, let's say, for instance, I just turned it on. I'm just watching a newscast that I'm interested in, and I think to myself, I'd like to know more about that.
Okay.
What do I have to do?
Every time a web page is being downloaded, the new button will flash.
So I don't have to write them down, type them in?
You don't have to write them down or type them in. It's already automatically categorized for you. Every time the web page has been downloaded, it automatically insert into a folder, create a folder for you, and all you have to do is click.
And you go to that web page.
And you go to that web pages.
So how does intercasting work? Well, to understand that, you have to learn a new phrase, VBI, or vertical blanking interval.
See these lines? They're used for adjusting your television's vertical hold.
In every TV signal, there are holes or blanks into which things like closed captioning can be inserted. But the folks at Intel figured out you could fit a world in that space, the World Wide Web in this case.
Your program on CNET would be a perfect program for Intercast, because you would be able to put additional information about a product.
See those little icons at the bottom of the screen right now? Just
Yes.
click on one of those.
Yeah.
Avram Miller is one of Intercasting's founding fathers.
Okay.
He says the technology grew out of a collaborative project between CNN and Intel called CNN at Work, a service which delivers CNN newscasts to PC users on the job using a company's local area network.
So we started looking at that idea and saying, you know, if we add some digital information to a television broadcasting, it's a pretty powerful concept.
Powerful, yes, but will Intercasting follow the desktop publishing model and create a nation of fledgling TV programmers? More important, will I be out of a job? CNN Interactive Chief Scott Woelfel says, not yet.
People trust producers at CNN or other places to say, this is what happened today, this is what you need to know. What Intercasting does is give you the idea to use that framework to jump off and to explore for your own information, wherever it is that you want to go from there.
Wherever those places that Intercasting takes us, they will be beyond the time when there was ever a difference between your computer and your TV.
Help avoid an unprecedented federal...
The first PC cards that will enable the computer to receive an Intercast go on sale next month. but it will not be until summer before there is large-scale programming, and we actually see the first Intercast-enabled PCs go on sale. In the meantime, you can get a peek at the future. To see what Gina and I would look like on CNET Central in an Intercast, just check out CNET online, www.cnet.com. Gina?
Now, not to be left behind in this converging TV computer race, software giant Microsoft signed a deal this week that'll let PC users tap into TV and multimedia broadcasts using special satellite feeds. Now, the deal was cut with DirecTV, a satellite-delivered television service, and it will eventually allow PC users with Windows 95 a chance to see TV and multimedia or World Wide Web content on their computers. While the battle for this emerging technology hasn't quite heated up yet, Microsoft is in a fierce fight right now with Netscape. And what's at stake? Whose web browser and technology will be the driving force on the World Wide Web?
We get up every morning and we think about browser share. Everything Microsoft's doing now is tied in with the internet.
A confident Bill Gates rallied some 4,000 loyalists this week at Microsoft's first ever Internet Developers Conference in San Francisco.
A media server, a commerce server, and in fact,
Microsoft emerged the winner this week over Netscape with news that its Internet Explorer will become the primary browser for the two leading online services, America Online and CompuServe.
The reality is only 11% of households subscribe to any online or internet anything, and 89% are sitting on the sidelines kind of saying, why bother? So the opportunity is to partner with companies to figure out a way to reach that mainstream audience.
While AOL will offer customers a choice of browsers, including Netscape's, Explorer will come preloaded on all the AOL disks by summer. A similar deal was struck by CompuServe this week and will also make Netscape's browser an option for subscribers, but it's Microsoft Explorer that will be used exclusively for CompuServe's new service called WoW, aimed at novice users.
I think Microsoft is trying to be our biggest competitor. Unfortunately, I think that they keep shifting strategy to the point where we typically don't run into them in a lot of situations.
Netscape has had a free run until now. It owns 85% of the browser market. Wasn't a whole lot of competition. But you have to realize Microsoft is a near monopoly, has the cash reserves to take on a Netscape, which is still trying to figure out its business model.
What you see on the screen is...
In a bow to market leader Netscape, the Explorer browser was massively overhauled to look and feel more like Netscape's Navigator.
And if we go over here, uh-oh, sounds like we found the bug.
The early release of Explorer 3.0 is souped up with streaming audio, video, and sound using new applications based on its ActiveX technology. For the first time, Microsoft added support for all of Netscape's multimedia plugins and Java.
Microsoft is a marketing machinery. What they do is seize a technology that somebody else has implemented, developed and implemented, and then does them one better.
But today I'm going to click on that advanced ski.
The final version of Explorer 3.0 is due out this summer.
And you can see that there's the beginnings of customization here.
While the competition rages on, the good news for web surfers is more multimedia on the web. So while the software developers are getting their first look at the new and improved Internet Explorer for Windows, the Mac users with their new version of the Explorer are finding out that it already works well with Netscape plugins.
That's right. For the first time, Gina, it's possible to add all sorts of, and I might add easily add, all sorts of multimedia extras such as virtual reality and Shockwave to Explorer, but to the Mac version first. To use the new multimedia capabilities, all you have to do is drag any Netscape plugin into the Microsoft Explorer plugin folder. You may recall from a recent story we did that plugins are the hottest thing right now in online multimedia because they update your browser instantly with the latest high-tech bells and whistles. You can find a list of plugins at either Netscape's homepage or the very handy Browser Watch site. It lists every known plugin, what it does, and what computer it's made for.
You'll find another interesting battle being played in cyberspace, this one over politics. Just like the Republicans in real life are having some pretty heated presidential primary battles this year, so too are the candidates in this new web adventure. But the big difference in this virtual world of politics is you get to call the campaign shots. The race for the presidency is on, and this year you can manage a campaign of your own. President 96 lets you pick the candidate you want to run and guide him or her to the White House.
I have helped in my own humble way to shape the national debate on the issues from the comfort of my broadcasting booth.
If the words sound familiar, it's because these candidates resemble real political figures. Listen to their speeches.
I'm running to change this society in fundamental ways.
Review their positions and join a campaign. Advise your candidate and chat with fellow campaign managers. But be prepared for scandals and crises that will force you into spin control. Your candidate's fate depends on the decisions you make. Also check out Candidate 96. This serialized soap site features a fictitious 38-year-old upstart running for president. You can follow his campaign by paging through its computer net. It's a wacky ride, but then so is this year's race for the White House. The one downside to President 96 is that this is a big time commitment. You just can't drop in every once in a while. You really have to manage your campaign. But if your candidate loses, hey, you're just a click of a mouse away from another one.
Just ahead on Cnet Central, an international lottery rolls across the net.
And John C. Dvorak fires up his CD-ROM to take us on a spin of the latest in multimedia. We'll buy it, try it, skip it right after this.
This is about how you go to sleep one day, running your business the same way you always have, and wake up the next morning with things like email, voicemail, PCs, pagers, a whole new communications network. It's not a fairy tale, a myth, or a parable. This is about how things can really happen. This is about opening your eyes instead of closing them, and making a call instead of a wish. Network MCI, that's how.
You're watching CNET, the computer network, on air, online.
Choosing a movie just got a whole lot easier. Introducing Corel All Movie Guide, the ultimate multimedia movie expert. Brought to you by the world leader in graphic software, Corel All Movie Guide gives you interactive access to the most comprehensive movie database on CD-ROM. Enjoy hours and hours of entertainment exploring the glamorous world of movie stars, directors, and behind-the-scenes cast and crew. Corel All Movie Guide, a must for all movie lovers.
If you'd like CNET's free weekly electronic newsletter, Digital Dispatch, send email to subscribe@cnet.com. You'll get behind-the-scenes previews of CNET Central and CNET Online, as well as the inside word on breaking news in the digital world. It's easy to get, and it's free. Just send email to subscribe@cnet.com.
Mi amor, parece diferente esta noche.
Que no terminé de tipear el informe mensual de marketing. Es un plomo y me están presionando.
No te lo puedo creer. ¿Todavía no has oído hablar del nuevo software de reconocimiento de voz de IBM? Vos simplemente le hablas y te lo escribe automáticamente.
Estoy anonadada.
With spring just around the corner, a lot of us are looking for a little vacation relief. And considering the winter a lot of us had, I think we deserve it. Well, just in time for the travel boom comes a new website called TravelWeb. And the best part is it's not just geared towards vacationers, it appeals to the business traveler as well. TravelWeb's site lets you search 6,000 hotels worldwide. Many let you view a photograph of their property, and each one also lists the hotel's location, amenities, and rates. Then book your room right over the internet. TravelWeb even offers their homepage in shockwave to really get you moving. Bon voyage! Lottery players don't have to travel anywhere to win big cash. The tiny European nation of Liechtenstein has launched the most aggressively marketed lotto online.
Liechtenstein is a very small country, but with that population, they really couldn't support a real lottery. So technology being what it is, and everything with the internet, they figured that was the perfect way to grow.
Each play costs about 80 cents, which you deposit by credit card online or by fax. And if you get lucky, they'll wire your winnings to you.
They've also added other lottery products like other lotteries have, and they're now featuring instant tickets, which are the scratch-off tickets that people are used to in this country.
And you can also play other lotteries online, including Australia, Florida, and New York State. But the Liechtenstein lottery is the one with the European touch.
In other digital news this week, AT&T is about to reach out and touch America Online. As part of its aggressive new internet access service, AT&T is going to provide its WorldNet subscribers with AOL content. at an as yet undisclosed discount rate. Some of the static might soon be disappearing from the chaotic world of internet phone service. Microsoft and Intel are leading an industry-wide effort to establish a clear standard and end the free-for-all, which currently has no one program working with all of the others.
Thanks, Richard. Now, with over 16,000 CD-ROMs on the market, you need a guy like this to help you pick which one you want. And this is John C. Dvorak, our first title today. It's called The Great Word Adventure, and I had a hard time turning my computer off with that one.
Well, I can imagine why. Seventh level's done it again.
Let's go on an adventure.
Take a roller coaster ride with little Howie and his friend Stinky through the Great Word Adventure. Speed through an abundance of language builders, from synonyms to word recognition to categorization. The games are familiar, but with a new twist. Instead of hanging a man, dunk Stinky. He's dunked. Or whack the words that start with a capital letter. Ouch! And then journey over to the ballroom to do the funhouse dance while learning to rhyme words. What rhymes with bash? Ash. Right again. The Great Word Adventure sells for $40 and is available on the PC. This is a fabulous disc. Buy it. It'll have your kids passing the SAT by the age of 9. Meanwhile, if you want to get depressed, you might want to take a look at MTV Unplugged. MTV and multimedia have converged. Bad news, the marriage is rotten. View photos of Stevie Ray Vaughan or click on the bio of your favorite rockers, Poison. Or how about listening to Bob Dylan singing like a Rolling Stone for the billionth time? You don't even get to hear the full song. But my biggest complaint is the lack of videos. They promote 70 unplugged artists, but there are only 3 full-song video clips. Lenny Kravitz, Paul McCartney, and the 10,000 Maniacs. I guess the rest of the performers don't rate. A little time with this disc and you'll want to unplug your CD-ROM. MTV Unplugged sells for $25 and is available on the PC and the Mac. Need I say more than skip it? There's no lower rating. Back on the quality track, though, I think you gamers are going to get a kick out of this title. Rebel Assault 2 is the action-packed sequel to the top-selling classic Rebel Assault, a game based on the Star Wars saga. The Imperial forces are back and Darth Vader is at the helm, ready to wreak havoc once again.
I will not be impressed until I have, under my command, the full power to crush the Rebel Alliance.
There are 16 missions with challenges ranging from speed bike racing to destroying the Imperial mining facility. The graphics are in the award-winning Lucas style, and the gameplay is surprisingly better than the predecessor. Fight the stormtroopers and blow up Imperial TIE fighters, all in a day's work, but look elsewhere if you want to do more than just shoot through the crosshairs. Rebel Assault 2 sells for $45 and is available on the PC and the Mac. This is my kind of disc. I'd give it a buy it.
All right.
One proviso, get a joystick, otherwise the higher levels are impossible.
Well, thanks a lot. You know, we had a variety of CD-ROMs to review today. If you would like even more, head to Cnet Online and just click on that little button that says Reviews. It'll take you to the Reviews webpage, and there you will find hundreds of CD-ROMs reviewed for you there.
Coming up next on CNET Central, Little Richard in cyberspace. Yep, he helped launch an outrageous new website, and we'll take you there right after this.
And you can rest assured I'll do my best to be a good president of the finest class Lincoln High has ever had.
Congratulations, Ray.
Thanks a lot, Dick. I'm sorry you both couldn't have been elected.
Oh, that's all right. If you need any help on special committees or anything, just give me a call.
Sure will, Dick.
You're watching CNET, on air, online, interactive.
Sai, ho finito la mia tesi di laurea.
Bravo, nonno.
Ho fatto tutte le mie ricerche, circa dalle Indiana University. Sì. La biblioteca della facoltà. L'IBM l'ha digitalizzata. Così con internet avrò accesso alla musica quando vuoi. Sì, sono proprio bei tempi questi.
PC buyers want a computer that's easy to use.
The PC Buying Guide from Cnet Online. When you're shopping for a PC, we put all the pieces together. We'll help you find the most important PC, the one that's right for you. The PC Buying Guide, another service from Cnet Online.
Choosing a movie just got a whole lot easier. Introducing Corel All Movie Guide, the ultimate multimedia movie expert. Brought to you by the world leader in graphic software, Corel All Movie Guide gives you interactive access to the most comprehensive movie database on CD-ROM. Enjoy hours and hours of entertainment exploring the glamorous world of movie stars, directors, and behind-the-scenes cast and crew. Corel All Movie Guide, a must for all movie lovers.
Every week we put Cnet cyber surfers to work, checking out the best of the web. This week, though, they came back with a bit of a science experiment. The first is the Arachnology homepage. This celebration of the spider is full of information and stunning photographs. So if you're arachnophobic, this site probably isn't for you. You can meet some cute 8-eyed jumping spiders and enormous tarantulas. You can even see spiders in motion with QuickTime movies. Up next, take an in-depth exploration of the human heart. This multimedia-rich website is a great resource for students, teachers, and anyone interested in the inner workings of the heart. Take a high-speed trip down a coronary artery as it delivers oxygen-rich blood to the capillaries. And if you have a strong stomach, check out the open heart surgery from the surgeon's point of view. For biology lovers who want to get even more up close and personal, there's the Cells Alive page. This site illustrates bacterial growth patterns by combining multimedia web technologies with microscopic photography and time-lapse recording. You can watch QuickTime movies of bacteria multiplying. You can also learn about how bacteria move and watch these microscopic creatures navigate. For more information about these sites and the many others that make up the best of the web, go to Cnet Online.
All right, we've got one more stop for you on the World Wide Web, especially if you're looking for something a little funkier, a little outlandish. This is just what the Rock Doc ordered. It's called Rocktropolis. This new online community made its debut in Hollywood recently, marking the event with a coronation.
Long live the king!
Little Richard, self-proclaimed king of rock and roll, was crowned king of Rocktropolis and then spent a few minutes online talking to his new subjects in cyberspace.
I'm online. I've been online for years, lying a whole lot of people online. But what line are you talking about?
Rocktropolis has 2 zines which feature the latest news from the music industry and profiles of rock stars and other celebs. There are chat rooms, a place for musicians to find work, and even a love parlor for the lonely.
I come from the music business. I worked with Sting and a number of major artists, and I thought I would create this musical environment, this online magazine environment world. It's a place where you go. It's a city. It's a virtual city. You give people really a first bookmark for entertainment and pop culture on the information superhighway, or the information muddy road, as we like to call it.
Rocktropolis wants to be more than just another pretty site. It takes advantage of JavaScript for its crisp look, and with compression technology from Zing and Real Audio, you can watch movie clips and listen to hot new musical artists. Rocktropolis also lets you buy the music and your favorite rock and roll paraphernalia.
Rocktropolis is like a huge layer cake. You know, you can cut it a whole bunch of different ways. On one level, it's entertainment, pop culture, interactive magazine. On another level, it's sort of like a mall because you get a lot of foot traffic. We have advertising that sinks into the environment. We want to give them a complete environment, a place where they can go and identify with and make sure that they get some benefits out of it on a number of levels so that they'll come back.
So if you're looking to rock around the clock anytime, day or night online, it's easy to find. www.rocktropolis.com. We'll be right back.
You need 3,000 pounds Colby. Let me check.
We don't have it.
Limburger, Havarti, cheese curd,
Gouda.
Colby. Out of Colby.
Gouda.
No, I don't want the cheese festival to be a disaster either. What about the nice age Gouda? Just found a warehouse stocked with 800-pound wheels ready to roll. You want it? Well, then it's yours. Well, anything else? The Limburger. Something tells me Limburger's not quite right for the cheese float. Something in blue.
We're all out of blue.
We're all out of blue. Jack? We don't have jack.
This is about advanced communication technology, about what's happening today, how things like the virtual office and call centers can work for your business. But it's not about bits, bytes, spells, or whistles. This is about people who know how to listen and where to look, people who can help you put all the pieces together and even get you the hardware and software you need. This is about how simple things can be, about knowing who, about knowing how. Network MCI, that's how.
Now, you know there are websites that you can go there and you can get video or audio sent to you.
Or you can get things like custom news information, or you can play live interactive games online.
Well, now there's a program that lets you turn your favorite website into pamphlets or brochures, just like these.
Imagine that, your web page on paper, and if you have a color printer, it'll come out all neatly folded in color. It's called Surf and Print.
Now, let's take that Condé Nast Traveler website, for instance. If you go here, you'll find out there's a lot of content. And using the Surf and Print, you can turn that into a brochure on paper, just like this.
Costs about $10, is from a company called Bookmaker. It's available so far only for Windows. Hey, it's just for fun.
If you'd like to find out more about it, make sure you go to their website, www.clickbook.com.
Now, of course, you know that for more information about anything you see on our show, you go to www.cnet.com. By the way, if you haven't been there lately, you're about to find a completely new look. Just click on Cnet Television to find our home.
Don't forget to check out CD-ROM Central as well. You can get ratings as well as the reviews from John C. Dvorak and even some clips, too.
Well, that's all the time we have for this show.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Cnet Central is brought to you in part by Microsoft. Where do you want to go today? Pipeline, the home internet provider, and Network MCI Business. And by Lycos, the catalog of the internet at www.lycos.com.
Next on an all-new Pacific Blue.
Hey, you!
The kid's incorrigible.
Let's go! No, he's not. Is Tucker in trouble again? With all his talent, he's using it the wrong way.
I felt a little need to express myself. If I wasn't in uniform, I'd extend my fist into your face.
They're not going to get away with it.
Don't do anything stupid, okay? You gonna hide from us, man? This is my beach.
Pacific Blue makes Saturday night something else on USA. Tonight at 8, 7 Central.
The customer is king at Birch Ford in La Habra. Birch Ford, family-owned and operated, serving North Orange County residents for over 60 years. Birch Ford, where there's no pressure, no hassle in your purchase of a new car. Select the model and color choice from our large inventory. And our state-of-the-art service department will keep your new car running smoothly. Birch Ford, 201 North Harbor Boulevard, La Habra, where the customer is king.
Gold's does something we've never done before. No initiation fee. Check out your neighborhood club. Comfortable and clean with a courteous and qualified staff trained to serve you. Gold's has special programs for seniors, individualized fitness programs, guaranteed weight management, and a friendly clientele. That's why Gold's is the best place to get fit in Whittier, according to the Whittier Daily News.
And from her kids, too.
Join by the end of the month and pay no initiation fee. That's right, no initiation fee.
Based on a true story. A young girl is dead. His policy is to seek the truth. Her policy is to bury it. Death benefit on USA. Tomorrow at 6.
It's heaven!
Nope, it's USA.
USA?
Exactly. The duck stops here. Tonight at 10 on USA.